Imagine a world where one man could kick harder, punch faster, and act cooler than anyone else. Sounds impossible, right? Meet Bruce Lee, the martial arts legend who didn't just break boards but broke barriers. Get ready to dive into the extraordinary life of a man whose fists were as quick as his wit. Before we proceed, we kindly ask that you consider showing your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. Born on November 27, 1940, in San Francisco's Chinatown, Bruce Lee's entry into the world was dramatic, right in the middle of a dragon dance during the Chinese New Year. His father, Lee Hoi Chun, was a Cantonese opera singer based in Hong Kong. His mother, Grace Ho, was born in Shanghai. His parents traveled to California for an international opera tour in Chinatown, San Francisco. As he was born in the USA, it allowed him to claim U.S. citizenship. However, raised in Hong Kong, young Bruce was a mischievous child who found himself in street fights more often than in classrooms. But who would have thought that this troublemaker would grow up to be the father of modern martial arts? Keep watching to uncover his journey. As Leo was involved in street fights, his parents decided that he needed to be trained in martial arts. In 1953, Lee's friend William Chung introduced him to IP Man, but he was rejected from learning Wing Chun Kung Fu under him because of the long-standing rule in the Chinese martial arts world not to teach foreigners. His one-quarter European background from his mother's side was an initial obstacle to his Wing Chun training. Chung spoke on his behalf, and Lee was accepted into the school. Lee's teacher IP tried to keep his students from fighting on the street gangs of Hong Kong by encouraging them to fight in organized competitions. After a year into his Wing Chun training, most of IP Man's other students refused to train with Lee when they learned of his mixed ancestry. However, Lee showed a keen interest in Wing Chun and continued to train privately with IP Man, William Chung, and Wang Shunlong. In 1958, Lee won the Hong Kong Schools boxing tournament, knocking out the previous champion, Gary Elms, in the final. That year, Lee was also a cha-cha dancer, winning Hong Kong's Crown Colony Cha-Cha Championship. At the age of 18, Bruce Lee returned to America to pursue higher education and escape his rebellious past. But destiny had other plans. He enrolled at the University of Washington, where he met Linda Emery, his future wife. It was also in Seattle that Bruce began teaching his unique brand of martial arts, combining elements of traditional Chinese martial arts with his innovative philosophies. He called it Jeet Kune Do, or the way of the intercepting fist. Pretty cool, huh? Hollywood wasn't ready for Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee was more than ready for Hollywood. Despite facing racial discrimination, he landed his first major role as Kato in the TV series The Green Hornet. Though the show was short-lived, Bruce's martial arts skills left an indelible mark. He wasn't just an actor, he was a one-man action scene. With lightning-fast moves and a charisma that leapt off the screen, Bruce was destined for stardom. In the early 1970s, Bruce returned to Hong Kong to take his career to the next level. He delivered films like The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, and Way of the Dragon that catapulted him to international fame. But it was Enter the Dragon that cemented his legacy. This film wasn't just a box office hit. It was a cultural phenomenon that introduced martial arts to a global audience. Bruce Lee was no longer just a star, he was a legend. Bruce Lee wasn't just about punches and kicks. He was a thinker, a philosopher, a man who pondered deeply about life and combat. His writings and teachings emphasized personal growth, flexibility in thinking, and the importance of self-expression. "Be water, my friend," he famously said, advocating for adaptability and resilience. His philosophies transcended martial arts and offered life lessons that resonate even today.
Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. So you gotta just keep on flowing. You have to train. You have to keep your reflexes so that when you want it, it's there. When you want to move, you're moving. I mean, you gotta put the whole hip into it. Snap, snap. Never go stale, so you gotta just keep on flowing, keep on flowing. You gotta just keep on, you gotta just keep on. Under the sky, under the heaven, there is but one family. Do not believe in styles. Styles separate man. It's a process of continuing growth, process of empty your mind.
Tragically, Bruce Lee's meteoric rise was cut short. On July 20th, 1973, at the age of 32, Bruce Lee passed away in his sleep. On that day, Lee was in Hong Kong to have dinner with actor George Lazenby, with whom he intended to make a film. According to Lee's wife, Linda, Lee met producer Raymond Chow at 2 p.m. at home to discuss the making of the film Game of Death. They worked until 4 p.m. and then drove together to the home of Lee's colleague, Betty Ting Pei, a Taiwanese actress. The three went over the script at Ting's home, and then Chow left to attend a dinner meeting. Lee took a nap, and when he did not arrive at the dinner, Chow came to the apartment, but he was unable to wake Lee up. A doctor was called and spent 10 minutes attempting to revive Lee before sending him to Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Lee was declared dead on arrival. Lee was buried in Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle,